Well, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Kelly's going to join us after her session. Hi, Tea Garden Chicken. Hi, Barbara. I have Diana is in the house.
Hello,
Woo!
hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Ah, goodness. I just came from a Reiki session, so woo woo. I'm in the woo.
Oh, I bet that felt so wonderful.
Oh, it does. It is. I've been going every other week since July.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I am so glad.
And I found a good practitioner, so this makes it even better, someone you connect with. So there's quite a phenomenal exchange of energy between us, and like I'm able to respond to her. She's been in a car accident and she needs Reiki, and she's still doing clients in spite of her own problems. So I'm sending it to her while she's working on other clients because, it's heavy stuff.
Well, I hope. Well, hi, Jax. Jax says hi, everyone.
Hello,
And
Jack.
Diana. Hey, Hypnicity. Hey, Rossi. Good to see you. I'm so happy to have Diana here because I wanted to. We all love Diana and hearing about her thoughts and her drawings. And she just finished doing the paintings, which I want to ask her about for Gail's second book. How many pictures did you do for that?
20.
20. I knew there was going to be more, but that's a lot.
Yes, and I just saw the proof.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I shouldn't say any more.
Okay, but 20. I'm
Wait
happy
till it comes out. But
I'm excited to read it and to see your beautiful paintings. Do you have an idea that you're allowed to share with us of when that might be?
Well, Gail said yesterday a couple of weeks.
Really,
she said
that's
that
so
online, so I'm going to repeat that because she said that on with me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everything has been pretty much on target, and I saw the proof, so it's ready to go to print.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear that. Yay! Because I follow her. You can go to Amazon and find Gail McLeod, and then you can follow her so that when it comes out, you'll be notified right away. And then we'll get to see Diana's paintings and read what Gail decides to share in her second book. But I wanted to ask you about what was your overall feeling about becoming a beekeeper this year? Hey, Grizzly. Hi, Grizzly.
Yeah.
Hi, handsome one.
Yeah, poor Gloria. She's sitting at my feet, but she's just too big.
Oh.
Jump up on a lap anymore.
Oh, darn.
Unless we're all on the couch, then she's got plenty of room.
After the show, then maybe you can all have some couch time before Diana has another video at 5. But she'll make couch time. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Hi, Jen.
For sure. So, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, since I lived in Virginia, since I first moved to Virginia, in Virginia, I also had, a good plot of land. So I had room to do that. Yeah. But the problem in Virginia just became, well, I'm working 2 jobs, I'm raising kids, and then I'm taking care of other kids in my home. And so it just got to be too much, too many strangers, too many things that I didn't have control over, and what if somebody's allergic and kids cutting through, because my house was a pathway to get to the grade school, the middle school, or the high school. So it was always the shortcut for so many kids to go home or come and go from schools. Yeah. So anyway, so I just didn't do it. And when I first moved here, I wanted to do it, but I had to get things together first. And so this just ended up becoming the year, because with these solar flares, I couldn't spend time doing my outdoor gardening. I can't be in the sun. The sun triggers me. It triggers the lupus, triggers all kinds of stuff for me. So,
Hi, Mary.
hey, Mary. So it was a good thing to do because it got me, that 15, 20 minutes of sunshine that you
Yeah.
need for our vitamin D without
Yeah.
link.
Absolutely.
And it is about saving the bees.
Absolutely.
I don't care if I ever taste any of their honey, however I have. But that's another story. Um, but it's about giving them some sanctuary and some places to continue to do what they do, which is to propagate the food we eat.
Yes. Without them, we don't have any food. Well,
Without them,
I'm glad you got to fulfill a life stream, and the story will continue.
yes, and the story will
Yeah.
continue. I
Yeah.
know, and I try to keep the videos short because, um, I'm disturbing them, and
Right.
my
Right.
neighbor is helping me, but she's not suited up, and I
Yeah.
don't want her to get attacked either. But I do have a tribe of very gentle bees. And that's what I find. There are some that are a little more aggressive, but my understanding is they got a job to do. And once they get used to you, they know you're not there to hurt them. I did get my first bee sting 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I had gone out there just to check
Uh-huh.
on some things and I had pulled the top off and I was fussing around to make sure that this honey that I'll talk about this comb business in a minute, but I had this honeycomb come loose. And so I took it and I just threw it on top of the feed tray. And then I consulted with somebody who's a professional around here. And he was all, "Meh, meh, meh. You shouldn't do that. You need to get that off of there." Well, so 2 weeks had been passed. So when I went to look at it, they did exactly what I thought. And I think I talked about that in the video. I figured they're just going to go in, take that fresh, warm honey and use it, and take that wax and use it to build more on other frames. Well, that's exactly what they did. So most of the honey had been cleared out of the wax and they had been eating the wax, reutilizing it. So I went to stick my hand underneath a piece that was stuck and it was coming loose. So I stuck my hand a little bit deeper and out fly a bunch of bees. And one got herself, I was wearing a jacket that was zipped up, but it was one of those like jersey knits.
Mm-hmm.
And it got itself trapped, caught on my jacket sleeve. And it tried to get free, and I tried to
Yeah.
brush it free, but neither one of us were successful. And she stung me once and then really stung me the second time. She was probably in the process, and I just happened to move the jacket.
Yeah.
Yes, bees do clean up after themselves. You've got that right. And they utilize it. They waste nothing. They waste nothing. So there's still bits and pieces and in there of that honeycomb. But now what I've done is because we're getting into
Hi,
the
Judith.
cold weather.
Yeah.
So I got some fondant, which is a candy for them. And I got a brand that has extra vitamins and things packed into it because
Oh, good.
I have a small colony, you know,
Right.
and not all of the frames are filled. So I know I am going to have to feed them through the winter. And that so what I put on there now is good enough to begin with, but it's so sticky that you have to leave it in the bag. You just cut a hole in it so that they can get up to the feeder and touch it and get what they need out of it, and then they can go through the bag and get it out. So the pieces of honey or wax that are still stuck to the feeder are working out as a prop to hold that plastic bag up high enough so that they have plenty of room to navigate underneath, in and out of it, and get around from it. So that worked out in itself as well. But they do make other things that aren't so sticky, that are more like sugar candy. So I'm going to switch over uh, probably within a week, because they are hungry and there
Yeah.
aren't any flowers. I mean, I'm not mowing my lawn, so I still have some dandelions that are coming up, so they can
Oh,
find,
good.
if it
Oh,
gets to be
good.
45 degrees or so, 46 degrees, they'll come out. Even if the sun is shining, they'll come out when it's in the lower 40s, like 42, 41. They were out yesterday when I did this, and the wind was so strong that the wind chill was making it colder than the air.
Hi, Ralph. There's
Hello.
a lot to learn. You'll be continually learning as this unfolds, as
Absolutely.
this experience unfolds. Let me
Absolutely.
say hi to Kat
Yeah.
and Jax and Mary and Teresa and Judith. Oh, thank you all for joining us today. Kim, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Well, I'm glad that you're learning so much. I wanted to ask you also, because I wanted folks to be able to order from you your wonderful salve that you
Oh,
make
thank you.
and your card deck.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I wanted you to, now in the description underneath this video, you will find that I've described the things that she makes her own salve. She picks everything herself. She blesses it. She braids sweetgrass. She does all of this. She grows it and braids it herself. And she makes salves. They're fantastic. And Diana has also created a card deck. And so underneath this video, you'll find the contact information to contact Diana. And she also brings astrology to life like no one I have ever met. Now, my favorite book is Sacred Astrology. My favorite astrology book is Sacred Astrology. It's been out of print forever. It was written by Joan Hodgson. And one of the first conversations Diana and I had together must have been about 2.5 years ago. And she
At
was helping
least.
because I didn't have a birth time. And so I didn't really have high hopes because I'd talked to astrologers in the past and frankly found them, it didn't really do much for me. Although I loved reading about it, when it came to my own chart, it didn't really do much for me until I met Diana. And she methodically and carefully, she listened very closely. She used her vast amount of knowledge and made it come to life in a way that I could finally relate to a chart. And I'd never been able to, even though I'd been fascinated with astrology my whole life.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone here to look at the information under this video and schedule as she's able, because she's pretty full up. She's doing a lot of shows. She's painting stories, and Gail's got more books coming. So she's a busy lady, our Diana. But make appointments, because she can really help you understand your chart in a way that helps you make good decisions. There's
It's
something
a story, right? It's a
it's
story.
a story. And I read this wonderful thing that I wanted to share with everyone. Like, many of us women have been pregnant, and we all know that the baby comes when the baby comes.
Yeah.
And when the baby exits the womb, it begins its physical life. And it's chosen the parents, and it's chosen the moment, and it's chosen the lessons it wants to learn. And there might be 87 lessons, because we are really optimistic when we're in spirit. And we choose the challenges and the blessings that we're going to have, and all of the souls that we want to interact with. And then at the end of our walk, when it's time, we exit the body. And then we're done with the physical experience. And then we go over all the soul lessons that we had, all the people we interacted with, and we get to feel and see and think about all of that in real time. But so it's very helpful to have an astrology chart and to have something to go off of, so you can honestly assess, what gifts do I have to bring to the table? How do I best share them? these challenges that I have don't make me less than. I'm not competing with anyone, but my astrology chart can help me understand why I brought that as a challenge and why me healing these wounds or overcoming that challenge is something I can share openly with others and help them, you know? So I would suggest you schedule that with Diana because she's really phenomenal at it.
Okay, now I'm blushing.
So, it's true though, and you're very generous with your gifts.
Well,
And that says something. That is high praise. To my mind, that's the highest praise because you share them freely. And
yeah,
you're able to understand that it's not a competition.
it's not a competition.
Not at all.
It's
Yeah.
paying it forward. Everything I do, I
Yeah.
try to pay it forward.
Yeah.
Everything, whatever it is, it's pretty much by donation. You know, I mean, like pay for the shipping. The stuff is already here. You want something? Just help me with the shipping.
Kat asked the question.
Yes, Kat, I can. It's a little more involved, but yes, I can. I don't have an app that I have to go to astro.com. You can,
Astrodynst. Yes. I love that. I've been using that site for years.
yes, you're right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
site does provide you a cartography. Yeah. It's reading it, and I can help you read it. But
Yeah.
I have to go there also in order to get a chart because I don't have an app that does that separately.
Oh, you and me both, Tea Garden. Yeah. That's what Diana helped me with because I didn't have a birth time, but she was able to by asking very wisdomous questions. We were able together to figure that out.
Right. And
So
most
don't
of the
give
time,
up.
your mother will say, oh, I don't know, it was dinner time and I didn't get to eat it. Something like that, you know? So those are little hints. And then we just look at, well, what best suits the I am, because that is what your rising sign is. It sets the cusp line for the first house in your personal chart. So if you're, you know, if you have an idea, then we look at, okay, the rising sign changes every 2 hours and 15, 20 minutes. So through the course of the day, it's gone through all the signs. So if you have an idea of where it is, well, then we look around and see which one best suits the personality of the I am of you.
That's true. And I also found that when I was speaking with Diana, I found that being older was actually a plus because she could look and say, oh, now when did that happen in your life? Now, how old were you when that happened, when you had your first child or when you got divorced or whatever it was? And so having a lot of life experience doesn't mean like, oh, it's too late to, it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, it really does. And it actually helps her. It makes it easier for her to figure it out. And I love that Judith has too. When she was born, and then when her biological father adopted her. How interesting. Oh, I hope you have a reading with Diana and then share it with us. I would love that. Let's see. Jack says, you're welcome, Tea Garden. After the trolls last night, it made me wonder if she was one, two is all. Oh, yes. And I understand. We talked about that at morning meditation. I remember that. Oh, Mary Starshine, you do, but it does not list time of birth. Same with mine, Tea Garden. And I got a copy of mine because my original was who knows where that went.
Yeah, if you can get it from your county of birth.
Yeah.
County register. I was born in Detroit, so I still can get the original.
They don't always put the time on it though. Like
well,
there was no time on that.
Some small towns are like that, yes, but
Yeah.
like the city records should have a time. So that's going to the higher a higher business like Wayne County. Detroit is in Wayne County, so you're getting this registration through the county offices.
Yeah, I was just yeah, he was saying his doesn't either. Mine's the same way. But it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Very rural areas, right. So if you're interested, certainly drop me a line and we can work around this and see I mean, nobody knows you better than yourself, especially as an
Yeah.
adult. So just knowing that rising sign sets the what you're all about. To me, it's just a little bit more important than the sun sign
Yeah.
because it's your most intimate moments. The people that you really let your hair down with are shown in your rising sign, or what you strive to to accomplish with others in community or with yourself.
Oh, you had a near time of birth, Rossi. Well, a lot of times, on the reservation, the guy would come around, and so someone would just say, "Yeah, was born 3 months ago." I think things were a little
Yeah,
loosey
right.
goosey, and a
Right.
lot of times, like my grandmother was full blood native, and she had my mother with a girlfriend, but most of her children were born outdoors. And so there it was a little bit, it
Nobody
was
had
different.
paper to write it down with. Who wrote
Yeah,
it in the sand, but the wind blew.
there you go. But well, Diana, other than doing astrology, she also does private readings using tarot cards. Tell people a little bit about the variety of readings you offer, because I don't think they're aware.
Oh,
I think they
um,
would love to know a little bit more about what they can contact you, because
thank
it's
you.
it's going to be needed more and more.
Well,
So
yeah.
we need your information out there, please.
Thank you. Okay. So I do Akashic readings, I do mediumship, I do astrology, I do tarot and oracle card readings, um, dowsing rods, pendulums, but they all work together. And for me, it's like I'm always in the Akashic. So they all work together. It's hard for me to separate one from the next. The story in the cards, well, a lot of the times it helps me with how to explain something to the sitter more than seeing something, although they work hand in hand. So I don't want to slight that in any way because I love the cards. I love the images,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
vital statistics. Yep, that will do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Diana does everything. That's right. Hi, Mary.
Thanks,
Uh,
Rossi. Yeah, I do. Except remember what it is I wanted to talk to you about the other day. Once my brother came and I got a bunch of work done on Saturday, that was long gone, and I totally forgot what it is I wanted to tell you. Oh well.
well, I think because when I watch and observe Diana, she uses many, many tools that are at hand because she has a familiarity with them. And I think even more than the Akashic records, I think it's that staying in that state of one foot in spirit, one foot in physical, that allows her to see which of the tools at her disposal are most appropriate
You
for
know,
whatever question is being asked.
you
But
just
there's,
you just hit it. That's exactly what it is. One in spirit and one on earth. It's the connection with our humanness. Even though I know I'm not of this earth. Because we really aren't of we are of the earth, but we are more of the angelic realm ourselves. So many of us have just lost touch with that.
oh,
I love that. Thank you, Jax.
oh, isn't that wonderful? I would also like to know, and if you're willing to share it, what, like when I made my card deck, what happened was I was invited to an event. I was too introverted to go. I was crying at spirit, crying, and crying for a vision, sort of thing.
Yes.
And so I painted like over 70 cards in about 2 weeks. And that eventually became the deck that I've created. How did your deck come to you?
Oh, well, we had gone into COVID shutdown And I had just moved from 30 years in one home in Virginia
Mhm.
to Michigan. Now, not the area where I grew up. I grew up around Detroit. I'm up in the country. I'm up in Michigan's a mitten. I'm like right here. This is the
Okay.
Saginaw Bay. I'm 30 miles away from it. So it's COVID. I can't go make
Yeah.
friends, no playmates. I got nobody to play with. Well,
Yeah.
I'm already of the woo. So this is a great story, actually, because
Yeah.
I'm getting all these downloads. And when I read cards, I usually sit on the floor in what is called the Moon Lodge, and I use several decks, and they are all over. They're quite a pattern going across the floor, going across the carpet. And I kept thinking, I I can draw. How can I make this work? How can I make a deck that is bigger but does encompass all the different ways in which I combine these decks? And I kept trying to do this and trying to do this, and all I could come up with is, well, you'd need a game board. And if I got a game board, it's going to end up on the Milton Bradley shelf with the Ouija board for the kids in the basement when they're playing. So I didn't want that to happen because this is to be a tool. And so Spirit just said, well, go back to the easy stuff, do an oracle deck, start there. And so that's what I created, was a 28 card oracle deck that could be used to lay out for a grand tableau, where 4 rows of 7 cards in each row. So I did that, and at the same time I'm getting these downloads. Nancy Jean is getting downloads for her crystal garden, which is so compact. Unfortunately, she is not creating them anymore, but they're so compact.
Mhm.
Everything I need for that crystal garden is right in this little pouch.
Okay.
And she had the perfect solution, because her game board is 5 stones that encompasses the major arcana and the 4 elements. And this is her game board, which is a silk scarf.
And she was making this at the same time. That's beautiful that you were creating your deck.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you know how we have crossovers. And this is what was going on. I didn't even I don't think I was even watching Nancy Jean at the time I was doing that. I was watching like Marianne and Lena.
Oh, Lena Rodriguez.
Lena was still, she had just started. She was a hoot. And Ellie Down Under.
Yeah.
And Danny did start soon afterwards, but Danny Shea was on with Scott and
Okay.
Celtic Sheila and
Yeah.
Lilac Lantern. And
Yes.
that was their regular show. Nobody was separate. Everybody was all together on that show. So this is a long time ago now. We're talking 5 years, right? So at any rate, I was getting the downloads for the oracle deck at the same time that Nancy Jean was getting her downloads to create the crystal garden.
Got it.
That was, and her birthday is a month before mine. In fact, her birthday is on the day that my mother was actually due to give birth to me. But I'm such a stubborn Taurus, I came out a Gemini.
Well, I'm wondering, if your card deck is 28 cards, have you ever considered making, what do they call that? An addendum deck?
Yes, I have, and it's probably getting to be onto time. So we'll see what next summer brings. This
Well, we have a long winter ahead of us where you won't be working outside, so it's something to consider. Oh, gifted one, I'm nudging. I'm
Well,
nudging.
it is, and let me tell you how many dream journals I have, and I've got lots of fodder in there. You guys have seen so much of
Well,
the.
at this point, you could actually create. This is. I'm nudging some more. Love you, sister, but I'm nudging today. I'm thinking with all the dream journals you have and the dream show information that you carry and that you know and that you've been a part of, you could actually make up a little dream guide.
Oh yeah.
And you could include some of your fantastic illustrations for people who come later to help them, some benchmarks kind of thing. Not oversharing your personal things, of course, but you could provide people with benchmarks.
Right. All of there's a lot of fodder that I wouldn't even have to
Thank
redraw.
you, Mary.
Some of the sketches are good. Yes, Annie.
They're
Annie,
beautiful.
where can we get your cards?
I have a thank you for asking. There's a video on my homepage, and if you watch that, underneath are the links to purchase it. And there's also a link that I had a heck of a time figuring out how to do it. But you can print out a 3-page Google Doc that goes with that deck. So it gives you
Ideas. Okay.
the story of every painting and who the deck is dedicated to and the spirit with which I share it. So thank you for asking. So they can get a hold of you for your deck and for a reading, Akashic reading, mediumship reading, astrology, of course, reading. And what else again?
Tarot and oracle,
Tarot,
mediumship,
tarot and, okay.
anything, It all
Uh-huh.
goes when we sit down, when I sit down to read somebody, I often bring in the astrology anyway.
Mhm.
Just to take a good look and say, well, this is happening because this happened. This is happening because in your fourth house of your mother is empty. That was empty and nobody was there for you. And sure enough,
Mhm.
oh, so many times it turns out that one of the parents was absent all the time or had died early in life, or the child was no longer living at home with the parents or with the father, the stepmother instead of the mother. Let me let Gloria back in. She's standing next to
Okay.
the door drooling.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Better
yeah, right.
yes, let
She has
Gloria
a
back
fur
in.
coat. She's not cold.
Well, that's true. But everyone, I thank you so much for being here with us. It's such a joy to have Diana here. Is there anything that you would like to ask Diana? Because I know she's on a lot of shows, but often she's so busy doing whatever the show's about that I
Well,
don't think people get to ask her a
first I
question.
want to say it's 333 right here.
Woohoo! It's 12:33 here, but yay!
So I want to talk about
Make a wish.
manifestation. This is so important, right?
Okay. You made a video about this, yes?
I did. Sunday on the sofa.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Are you
and
going to keep doing that, by the way? I hope you do.
yes, I've put several out. This was the first time I
Good.
remembered to put a title on.
Good for you. Well, I watched it and I saw your beautiful rattle that you've made. Yeah. What a gift.
So this is one of the things that manifestation. Where does manifestation come from? It comes from pure of heart. It comes from lack of greed. It comes from
Intention, wish,
intention, the
action.
connection with what it is you're requesting, how you are personally connected with what you are requesting. Turtle is one of my totems, one of my power animals as well. But what does she do? She walks barefoot on the earth. And what do? I walk barefoot on the earth. So that is a big part of it. Make a wish, yes. So her story, her story is amazing. I had wanted one for so very long. And it was at a time where I was rescuing raptors. And I was giving back to the earth by doing that. And I would drive all over Virginia to go pick up birds, raptors in particular, that had been injured or starved, or fledglings that left the nest and didn't learn the lesson very well on how to feed themselves. And so, in so doing, I became extremely connected with the earth. And not that I wasn't before, but this was very important. And I think part of that was part of finding this turtle was being given back what I was giving to Gaia, which was my time to go and get and
Do you
help.
miss it?
I miss it. Oh, I do miss it.
I
do
miss when I was volunteering with wildlife and holding them,
I
and
miss
weighing them and feeding them. I
There-
miss doing that so much.
There's nothing more fulfilling than holding an injured
Yeah.
raptor that could rip your eye out, let alone
Well,
what to do to your
it
face.
teaches you respect. They're the best teachers. If you do it wrong, you bleed. It's that simple.
And I did that wrong, throwing food in the cage one time, and Jingles got my nail and it's just the edge of my thumb.
Yeah.
And ripped it open right where the nail connects, right? And oh my God, it bled for weeks.
Well, the first time I got bloodied doing wildlife rehabilitation was a baby owl, and it's my bad that I did it. I made an error. It was my error, and it got me. And I kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, memorialize it or something because I felt so honored.
Oh,
But
it was an owl. It's
or
good.
feeding owls.
This is
impressive. Stuffing rat down their throats.
Oh yeah, right. That's the fun. Yeah, that's another.
But I loved it. I miss it so much. I mean, I physically can't do that anymore, but I wish that I could, because I never felt more alive. I never felt more alive than I was when I was helping, and then setting them free, either by they are made to go to sleep because they can't live a full life, or they're rehabilitated and set free so they can live their life. Either way.
Some of the biggest thrill is being in the flight cage.
Yes, when you know
before
that they
release, right?
I would feed them and say, "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me."
I know, and you got 10 red tails, and they're all flying back and forth, and some of them are deep dive, but they know you got a bucket of mice, man. They know they are not going to screw around with you because you got their food.
Well, but I didn't do this personally, but the paid rehabilitators would hang like Christmas trees upside down and screw them into the roof, and then bring in a kiddie pool with lots of leaf and litter, and then the live test of a tiny mouse to see if that owl could live prey, to see if they could be released. And it was such a joy.
Yeah.
It was such a joy when they could be released, because no matter what you give them, they want freedom.
So
it was so fulfilling when you could set them free.
There's wildlife all around where the flight cages are, right?
Yeah.
So there's those owls, those hawks, they know exactly what you're doing. They know you got buckets of mice, because the ones that get loose from the bins that they come in, right? That because they come from controlled environment from a science lab. And they only send the healthy ones, right? And
we got ours frozen.
Huh?
We got ours frozen.
Well, no, we got live in order to we got both. We got frozen ones, especially for winter when it was harder to get the live ones, right?
Yeah.
At any rate, so there was this one Cooper's hawk that lived in the area, and I was in a flight cage for owls. These were barred owls. Okay, so I'm in this flight cage, and there's 2 babies in there and 3 or 4 adults. And I've got this bucket, and I had taken a littler bucket with me. Actually, I carried 2 buckets. The mice can't get out of these buckets, right? But I had taken the littler bucket in with me because that was just the right amount for the group that I was with. Well, here comes this Cooper, and he knocked the big bucket of mice against the door so I couldn't get out. When I heard that clunk, I went, I had seen him up in the trees, and I went, you stinker. Was this you? So when of course, by the time I finally got out of there, I did dump the bucket over, and there's mice skittering all over the place. And this Cooper is hiding around another flight cage, and he's looking at me. So there's 4 flight cages, and I'm in between 2 and 2. And he's looking at me, and he flies down low at my ankle, grabs a mouse, and keeps right on going. Never, he touched me with his wings, but it was the most hilarious moment ever, because I even drew a picture in my journal of that. That was what, 2012, 2013, something like that.
Oh,
So it was
really?
one of my very first journals, right?
Oh, that is so 2013. That was the same year that I was Wildlife Volunteer of the Year.
There you go.
I kept doing what do you call that? Internships.
Yeah.
So I do internships because I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn more and ask questions, and helping with the little tiny baby birds and the little baby squirrels and the baby everything. It was busy and dirty, but I loved every minute of it.
Did you ever have to intubate?
Yeah.
So isn't it rewarding though when you're holding them and they just look up at you like your puppy dogs?
Well, it was funny because
with that same look on their faces.
Yeah.
It's just so gratifying. And
we used to call that a milk coma, because you first go in, you got to weigh everybody and make sure they're growing, and you got to keep them wild. These are not pets. You don't want them to be pets. But then
I would sing my song just to keep them calm, so that they knew it was me.
Well, they'd snarl and growl, and we kept them wild, but they snarl and growl, and you'd be like, it's not the end of the world, it's just breakfast. And then you'd be feeding them and then they'd get the milk coma, because their little tummies would be full. And, it was so rewarding. And then they all, to be set free. And I think the ones that I found challenging were the raccoons, because you have to wrap them like a burrito in a towel, and you have to, they're a challenge. Oh my goodness. Yes, they are a challenge. Well, thank you, Mary. Yeah. I appreciate that. Smash the like button, like it owes you money. Thank you. Yeah. At wonderful times. Really wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do miss that. And who knows, maybe I can get involved with something next year or something. We'll see. Well, we'll see if my bees need more attention from me or not.
Well, that's true. Yeah. If I volunteer again, I volunteered at the zoo and loved it, and with the dogs and cats, and the wildlife was my favorite. Was my absolute favorite. I could go back and help in the baby bird nursery, I suppose, because it isn't as physical.
Yeah.
And they're they're just tiny. You get them as neonates when they're just, they have no feathers.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny little...
They don't weigh anything even when they do have feathers.
Exactly.
They just get bigger. Well, unless you're holding an eagle, because an eagle can weigh 4 pounds, 5 pounds tops. But if you've ever stuck your hand out like this for 20 minutes with 5 pounds sitting on it, you'll understand why they make those, what do you call it? Not a tripod, but a armrest for you, because that is 5 pounds like this.
Mm-hmm. That's an entirely different trip with a bag of sugar.
Doesn't matter if you got justice and gloves on or not, that gets pretty darn heavy holding it. And when you're showing a bird, that's the other thing. I worked for an organization that we had to show them. And if you don't show each bird so many hours a year, then you lose the license to have that. Okay. So the fellow that ran this organization I was with was a falconer. So he could keep 14 birds under his falconry license. And then under the rescue license, he could keep another 15, I think. Something like that. So we could house a lot of birds. He had them living in his house if they were to remain infirmed. And the ones that were rehabilitated and could be released were on another property, but very close by. And that was where the flight cages were. And the guy who owned that, I swear to God, was the owner of Michael's. But
Okay.
before it became, when the son and the father had a fight over whose name it was going to be, that was back in the 90s, or back in the 90s. And the license plate there on the car for the old man that owned the house was the father's license plate. So I swear that was because the son won the argument and he got to keep the business and the right to the name Michaels.
I see.
But anyway.
So do you have sweetgrass left if people want to order sweetgrass?
I didn't harvest any this year.
Oh.
I've been under the weather a lot this year. I've been
Okay.
sick. And so I don't want to call it sick because it's sick for 20 minutes, but then it's sick for 3 days and 20 minutes, you know.
Okay.
It's so weird.
Okay.
And I didn't harvest any. Now I could probably still go get some, but it was all I could do to keep up with the dandelions. And
yeah. Were you able to make your salve?
I was made, yeah. In fact, I've only got 4 jars of dandelion salve left, but I've got dandelion.
Oh, okay.
Believe me, it was a very sparse year, period.
Okay.
I mean, plantain grew well, but I don't, like that, I can still go harvest. Nothing has frozen here. Everything is still growing.
Well, I hope I've planted a couple of seeds today that maybe when you're not illustrating entire books, perhaps you can make some more cards to add on to your deck, like an add-on pack.
Okay.
And would you consider maybe perhaps that dream, what would you call that?
A dream deck. Yeah.
Well, a dream deck, or even just a little book with some of your illustrations in it so that people would have kind of a guidebook. Like the ones who are attending, like myself, who attend the dream show every week, like little pointers that's something that you might think about. Consider putting something together. Oh, yeah. Dear one.
Yeah.
And sharing some of your drawings. Because I think as people become aware, see, this is just my theory. I think first contact will be through awareness. And as our awareness grows and grows and grows, we feel angelic at our edges. We feel otherness. We feel star nations. And I think a particular book that you could put together would be, at this, you may see this. You may envision this. You may come across or hear or see or smell any of your clairs. As your clairs become more active, there are signposts.
Well, like last night's dream that I brought to the show, this was, it happened. It wasn't a dream. It really happened. 1038 is a place in the sky. 1038 is, I love the name of that for sure.
See, isn't that good? Good job, Jax. Good job.
It's really out there. It's where Three Eye Atlas came from. It came beyond there, but it came through there to make its way into Sagittarius to get to us to be noticed. When we on Earth noticed that it entered through Sagittarius, but where it really came through was 1038, which is out there in the Boots constellation.
This is why I think you should write a little book about it.
My turn.
I think it would be a wonderful idea for you to do that.
Yeah, I need to do that. You're right.
And you have the illustrations. And you have the illustrations. Yeah. You have the knowledge.
I have plenty of illustrations that even just to make, not necessarily about my dreams, but illustrations that can help others with something in their dream. Like you get this. It looks like a pickle. What is it?
Yeah. Well, I don't mean to pressure you, but do you have your deck handy? Because I thought we have about 10 minutes left. If we wanted Yes. Let's draw 3 cards for the beautiful souls here and the ones that will visit and see this later.
Okay,
Let's draw 3 cards for them.
you know.
And the information to contact our wonderful Diana is below this video.
Thank you.
Please contact her. You will be amazed. you will be really happy you did so. And have questions for the next time I invite her on, and we can pepper her with questions about things. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun catch up. I'm excited today, Diana, because I got some new paint boards, and I just discovered that they make paint boards that you can do watercolors on.
Wait, what, paint boards?
Yeah, I use paint boards when I paint.
Oh, yes.
And I just discovered the other day that they make a paint board that I can do watercolors on. So this afternoon, I'm going to give it a try.
Wow.
I'm excited about that.
Very cool. Very cool. I didn't know that was out there.
Yeah, I just found out. My almost daughter told me. And she does, she's wonderful at art. And she takes classes and does it all the right way. And I just sort of go by the seat of my pants. So she often shares knowledge that I don't have.
There's nothing wrong with primitive art. Most of us love primitive.
Yeah, that's true.
We all qualify. All right.
I have 2. I'm just waiting to when to stop shuffling. So if you're ready, you go right ahead. This is a 3-card draw for everyone here. And the ones who will watch later.
Okay. So I'm going to start. My first card is, I've forgotten the number on this card, and it's one of those, this deck is designed so that sometimes you don't know what the number is, right? The first card I've got is reflection, right? This is a card of silence. This darling bear is fishing. He doesn't seem to be too interested in whether or not he catches anything. He's sitting there contemplating. And it also signifies the West, as bear is a creature of the West on the medicine wheel. So in your contemplation, what is it you are recognizing about yourself? What is it you are recognizing about others? What is it you are recognizing about everything around you? It can also be a time of doing your shadow work. The next card I got is 2 things in this card, as all cards are. It is the manifestation card. It is the fruition. It's the 28th card in the deck. It is gratitude. It is crying for a vision. It is also a way of manifestation. The last card I got is the Tempest. This represents our fears. Our fears are usually because we don't take control. Yes, California's bear out in the West. We don't take control. You see up on the helm, there's nobody manning the helm. That ship is going to run ashore if you don't face your fears, if you don't take it by the wheel and try to steer it to salvage what you can. Try to steer it to land safely on your feet like the cat with 9 lives. We will get through the storm with this contemplation, with this sense of gratitude, and knowing that we have the power of manifestation within us. We can ride out the storm, which brings me to that wonderful Doors song, Riding the Storm Out. At the bottom of the deck, I always look at the bottom of the card because that's the rising energy. So this is going to get us through the rest of this week. Tonight is the full moon. It is the beaver full moon besides. We have hippopotamus. Hippopotamus is strength, great strength. Nobody knows how strong it is. It spends half of its life on the shore, half of its life in water. It has to go on shore to give birth and eat. Otherwise, you find him in the water a lot. Don't get stuck in the mud that this tempest is going to give us. Know that you have the power to break free by taking the helm of the tempest.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. The
What
cards
you
that
got?
I drew, the first card I drew was, what's your seed?
Ooh,
Every life brings with it a seed. What's the seed you brought in with you? The hint is these will be the things that light you up. These will be the things that make your heart excited. And this card was inspired by JJ at Tuta Speaks.
ah,
She gave us a talk one time about what's your seed? What's the
yeah,
seed you brought in?
yeah.
That was inspired by her. And the second one I got was Tears of Healing. The tears of motherless daughters are healing this world. Each generation lifting up wounds into the golden white light of compassion to be healed. We are all doing this by authentically being ourselves. And the third card I got was Rainbow's Magic, because every story has 7 levels. And you don't always know which level of the story you're in. So
That's a
that
beautiful card. What'd you get on the bottom?
on the bottom of the deck, I have hope.
Ah, perfect.
Yes, hope is a jar of light that transmutes by shining upon you. Shine your light with others. I always think shared light is twice as bright. So thank you so much, Diana, for coming today.
You're
I really
welcome. No,
appreciate
thank you
it.
for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Oh, and everyone, thank you for joining us today. And be sure and check out below the video on how to contact Diana and send her a question. She's really good. Like if you just have a question that's just bugging you and you can't find the answer, just send her a quick little email. And when she has time, she'll get back to you.
Yeah, you betcha.
So, yeah, yeah.
You betcha.
Well, thank you. And I hope you get some nice snuggle time with your fur babies today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Get some lunch, sweetheart.
Yep. And tonight with Valerie, we'll be doing the full
Yeah.
moon show.
The Beaver Moon. That's
Yeah,
right.
Beaver Moon, full moon show.
And then you have a show tomorrow as well over at Allie's, correct? Or on our streaming?
Simulcast, but Allie
Simulcasting, yeah.
And it is Astral Wars, and I
That's
think we're
right.
talking about seeds tomorrow, and I'll be revisiting the dream I talked about last night.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Mwah.
Okay. Bye for now.
Owe me a Coke.
Bye.